Malaysia's government insists that Flight 370 is lost. But this morning, Chinese officials do not accept that conclusion. They are demanding to see the satellite data used to determine that the plane must have crashed.
This morning, Malaysia's defense minister said the last recorded position of the jet shows it had to be over the southern Indian Ocean.
The analysis showed poor correlation with the northern corridor, but good correlation with the southern corridor. And depending on the ground speed of the aircraft, it was then possible to estimate the position at 0011 UTC, at which the last complete handshake took place. I must emphasize that this is not the final position of the aircraft.
Seth Doane is in Kuala Lumpur, where victims' families are also demanding better answers. Seth, good morning.
Good morning. Yes, officials today here in Kuala Lumpur used a lot of today's press briefing to try to go through some of those elaborate calculations that experts used using satellite data to try to determine where that plane went. But talking with family members, what we're finding is that all of this data, these new announcements, well, they're not answering questions, they're raising questions and fueling frustration. Anger poured onto the streets of Beijing today in a rare public protest, watched closely by police and paramilitary. Passengers' families marched 2 miles to the Malaysian Embassy, carrying banners reading, "Give us an explanation." Malaysia Airlines executives tried to do that today in Kuala Lumpur.
We do not know how this terrible tragedy happened. But as Malaysia Airlines family, we are all praying for the passengers and crew.
It was little solace for distraught families. Some learned the news by a text message that read, "Malaysia Airlines deeply regrets that we have to assume beyond any reasonable doubt that MH370 has been lost and that none of those on board survived." The airline said it tried to inform families in person and that the text message was a last resort.
Our sole and only motivation last night was to ensure that the families heard the tragic news before the world did.
Selamat Omar told us he's been receiving phone calls to watch these press conferences for information. His son was one of the 239 people on board. The flight ended in the Indian Ocean, he said, but there is still no concrete proof. We still have hope. For you, there is no closure with this announcement. As far as we're concerned, he told us, this is not the end. There is no conclusive evidence as of yet. This morning, Malaysia's parliament held a moment of silence, and with it, a prayer for peace for so many here in mourning. Selamat Omar told us that he would like to go to Australia given the opportunity. In the past, family members have told us that Malaysian Airlines said that they would fly them if debris was found. Today, we learned that Australian authorities would wait to issue a visa until evidence was indeed discovered and confirmed. Charlie, Clarissa.
Seth Doane, thank you.